Good morning, LinkedIn fam. Hey guys, I am mixing it up today. I am not at my usual time, but hey, it's a Saturday and it is day 7 of 12 days of giving for me. And guess who's on the air? I figured out what my camera problem was. And here I am with a bit of an unshaven, unkempt look, but it's real. It's me. It's as much as you're going to see. I'm not going to zoom in any more than that. Anyway, good to see you. Who's there? Tell me who you are. Tell me where you are. Tell me what's going on. I want to hear from you. And today I am mixing it up. I'm not going to stick mainly to LinkedIn or resumes, but I want to get into more the personal development side of things. And thank you for joining, Samir. Hi there. How are you? What I want to do, guys, is I want to talk about New Year's resolutions. I want to talk about personal development. I want to talk about morning routines. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a recap here. I got up this morning, had a great call with my best friend. We have a regular call and we got some ideas going, a bit of accountability, if you will, and just had an awesome call as usual, right? But we started thinking about ideas of, what makes you change, right? And what prompts you to change and sticking to it, routines, all that stuff. We talk about all that good stuff. And hi there, Akash. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining us. What brought you here? Tell me what's going on with you in the background or in the comments, please. Same with you too, Imran. Nice to see you. Where are you calling in from, or I should say tuning in from? And what brought you here? What kind of personal development goals are you having right now? So thanks for saying hello. But back to my point, when I got off the call with my friend, he was going off to play tennis. He's getting out there, he's doing exercise. And I admitted to him, I said, I haven't been doing the exercise lately. And that's something that I know is important, but it's hard to stay motivated. When you got ice and snow outside and 30 degrees or less for a temperature, it's really tough to stay motivated. And bigger picture is something I've been getting back into is called the Miracle Morning. And I'm going to throw that up here. Miracle Mornings. If you've not heard of it, it's a book by Hal Elrod, and it was topic number 1 I wanted to cover with you guys. It's a life changer. It was one of those ahas for me. Another one that I think of that maybe goes before that, and the only one that compares, was Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. That was another game changer, and that was more about a personal or professional level initially, but then I realized personally it also was huge, right? So another game changer, though, for me was, I want to say it was a couple of years ago now. I was really getting into Miracle Morning, and to be honest, I've struggled with it. But Miracle Morning movie, the Miracle Morning movie just came out. I bought the premiere to it, got a version of it online. I even did a post on it, if you may have seen, about 5-6 days ago. Anybody see that? Let me know in the comments if you saw my post. And if not, go take a look at it. I believe I put in there in the comments a bunch of links to freebies. He, for the longest time, gave the first 2 chapters of the book online. I haven't checked recently if he still does that, but there was a whole bunch of stuff that he's done, basically freebies, that he has out there now. I believe you can still get for free, even if you didn't get a chance to buy the movie. The movie it was a premiere. It's going to be coming out mainstream documentary style. I don't know exactly when. I don't know the details. I believe you can get it on Amazon Prime now. I don't know if it's a Prime free thing, but you probably have to pay for it. I'm not sure, but I thought that he said that it was going to be on Amazon Prime. Anyway, the movie is more about his story, the background, people that it's changed their lives, that sort of thing. Very motivational, very uplifting, inspirational, just lots of great ideas, guys. Just amazing stuff, right? I highly recommend you check it out. The book, in the comments on my post I did about it the other day, the book is also just amazing. It's a quick read. The guy himself, the author, Hal Elrod, who came up with the Miracle Morning idea, give you a quick snapshot. It comes down to the SAVERS acronym. You've got each of those letters means something. You have silence, affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, and then scribing. He was looking for a way of saying journaling, but he needed to have it be a nice, catchy acronym. And I love that. It's awesome. So SAVERS, that's what it is. I just gave it to you. And the whole idea, he was really struggling at one point in his life. And here he was, a life coach. And what he realized was, instead of trying to make one little change here. Oh, you just need to go exercise more. And that's actually one of the things, if you look in his background, that was one of the biggest things that changed him. He confided in a friend that he was struggling, and the friend said, well, are you exercising? So if nothing else, number one, and I'll get to that more here in a minute, but one of the things that he realized was, that exercise was really important. And he all of a sudden got really motivated, I think, on a run. And he looked into all the ways that people will, take into improving themselves, right? Personal development. And he went back in a whole bunch of things in history, just crammed on it, and found a whole bunch of background research, basically. And he found that, it all came down to 6 things, and he couldn't narrow it down. And he was like trying then to narrow down and say, well, which one's best and how do you do it? And, he was getting really focused on it. And then all of a sudden he had this epiphany. He realized, why try to do one or many of these 6 things? Why not do all of them? And hence the Miracle Morning was born. Again, SAVERS is the acronym: silence, affirmations, visualizations, exercise, reading, and scribing, which is journaling. Hello there, Con. How are you? Nice to see you. Please, guys, let me know if you're seeing this in the comments. And even once you see this, please say hello in the comments. I would appreciate that. What brought you here today? Did you see this in the feed? Did you see this in your notifications? Do you like LinkedIn Lives? And do you like this type of format? Do you like the fancy colors behind my head? I'm hoping that that's better than looking at just me, because you need more than that, and you don't want to see what's behind me. I'll tell you that much. So I'm taking a leap of faith here, and I'm trying to just get out there more. I had a couple of people already ask me in these 6 LinkedIn Lives that I've been doing daily, why aren't you putting yourself out on the camera? Well, here I am. So anyway, back to SAVERS. Check it out. Miracle Morning. It's amazing. It doesn't have to be about getting up first thing in the morning, right? And that's the thing that people don't know all the time. Hey, Hussein, good to see you again. You have been on here, I think, every time. I love it. Thank you so much for showing up again. How did you see me? How did you find me? Hussein, let me know in the comments. You've been very, very active participant. I really appreciate that. Christopher, nice. Stay positive. You definitely have to stay positive. Excellent point. Nice to see you. And Pankaj, nice to see you. Hi, how are you? And Nurar, hopefully I'm saying your name correctly. Nice to see you too. Thanks, guys. Tell me what you do for your miracle mornings. Are your mornings a miracle? Or do you rely on New Year's resolutions and then really not stick to them? That's kind of back to the theme, right? And that was my epiphany, is that this isn't about once a year, guys. It's about daily. It's about mornings. So that kind of gets into my next point. So I'm going to jump into that and make sure we cover things fast. To me, what I've been realizing is it's about weeks, not years. So what I meant is, there's another system that I've been looking into and trying to incorporate as best as I can. And I'm making progress on it, but I need to keep tweaking. And that's whole another story, whole another chapter. I was just on a LinkedIn Live yesterday, and it was about Agile. Well, we could get into Agile quite a bit. I do that in my day job. But in case you didn't know, I still have a day job. Everything you're seeing right now, this is all on the side stuff. This is all what I just have been passionate about. So tell me what your passions are. I would love to hear it. Are you passionate about personal development, about improving, about helping others? What are your passions? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear it. Thank you, Hussein. Yes, interesting. Well, tell me what's interesting about it. What have you thought about New Year's resolutions? You've probably heard that, right, Hussein? What do you do on New Year's? How do you reflect on the year? How do you make plans for the next? That's what we're talking about today, guys. And again, it's back to weeks. And I would say, honestly, I would even say, and this is where I'm really trying to hone this down, it's not even about weeks. It's about hours. I kid you not. Hear me out. Every hour, you may have heard it earlier, at 11 o'clock, 3 minutes ago, 11 o'clock my time, my watch went off. And this watch is a kind of an interesting tangent, but I got this watch. This was my dad's watch. He died a few months ago, back in August. And one of the things, I've got his watch, and it's a good reminder of him, makes me think of him, and it's right there on the wrist, right? So it's another thing, one of those things that just kind of changes your life, right? When these things happen. And this watch, the way it works is it beeps every hour. And that, coupled with what I was trying to do anyway, I was trying to find a way, per this other book I was just starting to get into. It's called Getting Results the Agile Way. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to know more about it. But essentially, it's down to, what are your long-term goals? You take a look at that, right? Fine, you got some long-term aspirations, but take that down to the monthly level. or even down to the once a year. What for the year, what are you thinking you can get done for the year? Kind of like New Year's resolutions, right? Take that down to the monthly level. What's your goal for the month? This book, that system is a great way of saying, okay, now take it down from the year down to the month. Then it gets into the week. And it's really based on week. That's why I say weeks, not years. It's about reflecting Fridays, planning on Sundays. Every Monday you now start executing your plan for the week, really at a daily basis. And you have a system in place where, sure, I'll be glad to get into that in a second, Hassan. Thank you for asking. That's a great question, by the way. But getting back to this other thing, the weeks, not years, it's down to I would say, and I'm trying to remember exactly where I came up with this idea, but it's down to the hours, because you may start off even at the day, which I think is where that other system kind of stops. And it's about reflecting maybe at the end of the day, planning at the beginning of the day, and you look to see where you did well, what you could improve, basically journal, right? It's back to the savers. But here's the kicker. I find, and if you're like me, I find that it's so hard, even if with the best intentions, you start off your day, to stick to it, right? To make sure you're on task, you're on plan, you're getting the things done that are the most important to you. And I want to make sure I'm doing that. So that's why I literally think it's actually not even weeks. It's not years. Certainly New Year's resolutions, not going to happen. And by the way, let me now I'm on that topic and just reminded me. Can I please explain the summary, the significance of this New Year's? The idea is, and there's been research, most of the people in the world, if you look at what makes them change, what spurs them to make a change, it's New Year's. It's one of the hugest, most recognized things. On New Year's, you get sentimental, you sing that Old Lang Syne and all that kind of stuff, and you start reflecting on the year. You rewind, relax, whatever, reflect with family. It's that time of year, right? And it's just a natural transition because you're wrapping up one year and you're excited about the new. The calendar changes over. The old days, you have to write a check, right? You got to start. Remember, I used to always have trouble with that. It's like, oh yeah, I need to write the new year out when I'm writing out my checks. It's things like that, right? There's lots of significance, lots of things that kick in there, Hassan. Just think about it, right? How have you changed from the end of December into the beginning of January? It hits us one way or another. Well, the research out there actually shows, though, and I believe Hal Elrod gets into this in his book. Lots of people talk about it, but I think it's like the 14th of January, almost all resolutions tank. They stop, they end. People give up. 14 days in to a new year and it's over. It's over. Not good, not good. That's what the research proves. And so then it became down, when I was looking into the Miracle Morning, he gives and he's got a new version of this, by the way, with his release of the movie. He has a 30-day challenge. Now, why that's important is it's about habits. If you do something just like New Year's resolutions, you will give it up within about 14 days, was what the research proved. Well, there's that old myth. You probably heard this too. What does it take? How long does it take to instill a habit? Well, a lot of people used to say it takes 21 days. That's one of the old myths. Some people might say 30. Some people might say 90. It all depends. You get Tony Robbins, that guy, right? His hands are about as big as your skull, and you get that guy crushing your head, right? Like this, you will make that change right now. You don't need 21 days. That's the way Tony Robbins is. But you know what? Most of us don't quite have that big hand, for one thing, and don't quite have that gumption, that willpower, motivation that Tony Robbins has. Love the guy. He's also been a huge influence for me. Tell me what you think about Tony Robbins. Ever hear the guy? Anthony Robbins, read of any of his books? Amazing, amazing books, by the way. Those also changed my life. But back to the topic at hand, how many days does it take to make a new habit? Because you see, like Jim Rohn would say, to get more, to have more, New Year's resolutions type stuff, you need to become more. I'm paraphrasing his quote, basically, but in order to have and be more, you need to become more. Okay, or have and get more, you need to become more. It's something like that. And that's what we're talking about, guys. That's what we're talking about. Make sense, Hassan? I hope that helped explain it. And, Hussein, thank you. 14 days and back to a previous routine. Yeah, back 14 days in from a New Year's resolution and I'll do whatever I want, right? Forget the whole thing. It's out the window. Whatever change you were trying to do, it's done. Classic example, and what a lot of people do, and this may have been where they were focusing their research, you get a gym club exercise membership, right? A lot of people, at least in America, that's one of the big things they do. They subscribe to that gym membership, and membership places, clubs, fitness clubs weren't stupid. They make you sign a 1-year contract, right? Nowadays, they're having to realizing people are dropping off. They're not doing it as much. I'm talking pre-COVID, but now they realize that wasn't working. I want month by month. Well, they bumped up the price a little bit, make you do month by month. But guess what? January, bar none, still the research shows, by January, you're in there every day, first part of January, then it's kind of like, oh, maybe once every other day. And by the end of January, you're lucky if you're even still going on any sort of basis, regular basis. So your whole workout exercise routine is probably gone. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Hussein, did that answer the question? Let me know in a comment. I appreciate it. But again, back to, is it weeks? Is it years? It's regular, guys. It's the whole idea. And that's why I'm down to, kid you not, tick tock, tick tock. The reminder goes off and it lets you know that's what I want. I want that to be a trigger. You guys may have heard of Pomodoro. The Pomodoro Technique is roughly, I think most people, the way they translate it is every 25 minutes, you setting a timer. And at the end of that 25 minutes, something goes off. And that's what I'm trying to stick to. It goes off. And for the next 5 minutes, what Brendon Burchard would say is, release tension, set intention is what you can do in that 5 minutes, that break between the next half hour. And if you can chunk your days into as many of those 30-minute Pomodoros as possible, you're well on your way to making sure you're planning your days and getting things done that you want to get done, as opposed to having your days control you. Okay, that's kind of the crux of it all, right? So, the other thing is, and I'm looking for my third thing here, but I'm curious, add a comment. Do you believe in New Year's resolutions? That's kind of what we're after, to understand what does it take? What do you guys think? What triggers you to becoming more and to changing, right? To do those things. And that leads to my third point. It's, become to give. That's what I meant by that. You have to become more to give more. Okay. And did that screen just flash? I think it did. I was trying to flip around on my screen. I'm trying to keep a little view of you guys, and I'm trying to go back to the main screen that you're seeing and make sure that it looks okay. I think it just flashed. But anyway, let me know, will you please, in the comments? I appreciate it. It's all about becoming more to give more. Give you another quick example. Maslow. You guys probably heard of this. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. If you look at that triangle, right? The base needs are food, shelter, oxygen, right? The plane, the oxygen mask in a plane going down, right? You give yourself the oxygen, then you help other people. Classic, right? My best friend and I were just talking about that this morning. It's like, why is that, right? Because you don't, if you pull out the mask and you give it to somebody else, as much as you want to help them, then you feel like you're going to help the next person, then the next person, then the next person, you're going to die, right? You're going to pass out. You don't want to do that. You need to help yourself enough, get your own. And really, guys, it comes down to self-love. You need to feel the love yourself, really. Comes down to that. Tell me if you agree. Give me a yay or nay in the comments. But it comes down to feeling enough self-esteem, enough worth, enough value in yourself. Then when you, like Maslow, back to his hierarchy of needs, when you realize, I got all the things I need, now you transcend what Maslow didn't say in his original pyramid. And he didn't realize, okay, the guy was smart. He was like, a psychologist? I forget exactly his background. But, the guy, it was famous for years. And he realized in his later years, right before death, essentially, I think it was like an epiphany for him, self-transcendence. I think in a diagram, I've shared it before, in a diagram, there's a little circle. And that in that circle, it represents self-transcendence. So you are that in that triangle. You are moving up the rung of the triangle. And it's transcending that. It's not about you anymore. That's the kind of thing that we're all after, ultimately, right? At the end of the day, what's your legacy? That's the kind of question that enters my mind on a regular basis. What about you? Do you think about that? Or do you just go with the flow, baby? That's it, man. I'm just here. I'm just trying to get a paycheck. That goes back to LinkedIn and resumes and jobs, right? Are you just in it for the money? Is that it? Let me know. I'm into what's called Ikigai. That's something another. I could go on and on, guys, but I'm not. I'm already at 19 minutes. I'm going to cut this off unless you start joining in. I know it's Saturday. I need to see you. I want to find you, or I will come find you. Okay. I want to see you, or I'll come find you. Being funny, guys, tongue in cheek, but seriously, if we're not improving, we're not growing, we're dying. That's another expression you hear a lot, right? And if you're not growing, you're dying. You're not giving. And if you're not giving, you're not contributing. You're not contributing, you're not leaving a legacy. Now, I'm paraphrasing that a little bit, and I'd love to hear your take on it. But this stuff is big, guys. This stuff is big. It's, I don't care what you do. right? I'm not here to tell you what you do. I quick, funny story of background. And thanks for the comment in here saying, I see, forget all the planning and targets you put for the New Year's in 14 days. Yeah, you end up doing that, right? Is that kind of your point? That we do forget all the planning and targets that we make, within 14 days, because that's what the reality says. That's what the research says. Hey, awesome. Thank you, Richard. Someone's there and it's current. This is cool. There's always this weird delay with LinkedIn Live. You never know, because Richard just said, if you're growing, you're dying. You're basically, you said, if you're not growing, you're dying, right? I think you caught on to my comment. Hey, that's awesome. That's what I'm doing this for, Richard. And I literally, hierarchy. I'm in that circle, baby. I hope. I really hope. That's my plan, guys. It's my plan. I'm trying to get out of this and I'm trying to get into this. Make sense? You understand? Huh? Tell me if you know what I mean. And if not, ask. That's what this is all about. LinkedIn is about networking. And just like Richard just said, your life is broken down into daytime chunks. And if you heard what I was saying earlier, you may have joined late, Richard. I'd say it comes down to the hour. Hourly chunks, reflect. And some people would say Pomodoros, half hour. Whatever works for you, whatever works for you. But on a regular basis, guys, my suggestion, and it's something I'm struggling with, I'm looking for the best thing that works continuously, regularly. It's got to work. It can't be a New Year's resolution, right? It's got to work for me so that I can help others. Working a full-time job, family of 4, who's right now wondering where I am right now. I kid you not, right before this, I had to negotiate before even coming on live, but I've committed to this, committed to getting out there and getting out of my comfort zone. I'm on the camera. All those people who said, Jared, why aren't you on the camera? I want to see a comment from you now, right now. Do it. Stop what you're doing. Put it down. Close your mouth. Yeah, you're in shock. I just said this. Put a comment in the feed now, or I will find you. Okay, having some fun here. Got to have some fun. Yes, Pomodoros are powerful, very powerful, and they're so powerful, I need to get back onto it. And if you're not growing, you're dying. There is no middle ground. I mean, seriously, tell me if you guys ever heard this. I learned this from my dad years ago, and I don't know where he heard it from. Before he died, I should have asked him, should have found out, because it came back to me. There's an old saying, an old story, an old legend, I don't know what it is, but Native American Indians, when they knew they were dying, they would literally say to the whole tribe, they would say, I'm dying. It's been great. Love you. They would say their final words. So like they have the capacity to say things to their loved ones and to literally walk into the forest, find a tree, sit down, and die. So literally, that is the best thing that I've always remembered. If you're not growing, if you're not moving, you're dying. Literally, Native Americans, please, someone tell me. I don't know where I've learned that, where my dad learned that from, but he told me that. And I would love to know if you've heard that before, if it makes sense to you. Richard, right back at you. I love the engagement, and I wish more people would comment in the comments, because we're on LinkedIn, baby. I'm on live. Let's see it below. So yes, but to shut off the cell phone, or the way, let's see here. You're saying Pomodoro is very powerful. I agree. But shut off the cell phone or Pomodoro won't work. And here's that. You're right. The cell phone, as smart as it is kind of a dumb device. It's only, really, guys, it's only as smart as we make it, right? Well, that's a cool little reflection there. Look at that. It's cool. I can see the reflection in the background there. You like that? One of the things that I did, I bought a cheap-ass phone, guys. Sorry for the language. If that offended you, let me know. I'd like to hear about it. But one of the things I did is I bought a stylus phone. This phone is an LG Stylo 5. Not that I'm giving you a promo. I know I'm getting some code or something or some promotion from this company. But I literally bought it because it has a stylus pen. And it's part of my plan is to get back into doing this kind of stuff on a regular basis, getting up in the morning, pulling out that little stylus and writing things down, because there's also research that says if you write it down, it will sink in better than a phone where you just talk or you type on a computer. So anybody else, thank you. Appreciate that. Got to be real. Anybody else tell me about the cell phones and electronics, that can be more of a distraction. And it can ruin lives. Social Dilemma, Netflix, check it out. It will ruin lives. I'm going to spoil it for you guys. And if you don't want to hear this, put me on mute, okay? But at the end of the movie, at the end of the Social Dilemma on Netflix, you know what they all say, all these experts that they talked about, we're talking people that made the like button on Facebook. You know what they all said? Let's hear it. Come on, put it in the comments. You know what they said, right? I'm waiting for the comment. What's that? You know what they said. You saw the movie? You saw it? You saw Social Dilemma. Put in the comments, Social Dilemma. I'm going to wait. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to wait until somebody puts in the comments, Social Dilemma. And it's not Richard. Somebody else other than Richard. This will be fun. This will be a test. I'm seriously, I'm doing it. I'm watching these comments come in. Richard, feel free to keep commenting. I'm gonna highlight you. Love stylus phones. Thank you. Yeah, and the sucker, like I was telling you, $250, the entire cost of the phone. No iPhone for me, thank you. $250. If I drop this thing, right? Mechanical pencil and journal. Feeling the scratchy writing resistance burns into your mind. Ooh, I love that. I love that. I really love that. That's awesome. Yeah, and that's, I give that up with the stylus. It's kind of like a screechy kind of thing. Guys, I'm serious. I am not moving on until somebody writes the words social dilemma in the comments. Because as much as we're on LinkedIn, as much as I'm on live right now, it's why I'm doing this topic. Because we are facing a social dilemma. And if we are not taking what we're getting from this and we're not learning, we're not improving, we're not growing, we're not transcending and helping others, what the hell are we here for? Seriously, tell me in the comments. Yeah, wow. Thank you. Wow. Where are the comments, guys? Where are you? Writing is powerful. So is talk. We can write on LinkedIn. We can also engage in the comments. You've heard this on if you saw my LinkedIn Live yesterday, you heard it straight from LinkedIn's mouth, an executive. He said the goal of really what they're after on LinkedIn, it's people talking about things you care about. Could be writing, but it could also be discussion. Could also be comments. I'm not seeing any. Only Richard here. Yeah, exactly. Look at this comment. Social media was supposed to make us closer. Are we closer now with COVID? Interesting challenge. Hey, I'm able to be on here 24/7. I should be doing much better. I should be happier. Am I? Are you? Tell me in the comments. Where'd you all go? What the heck? Richard, I guess it's just you and me. Not one person has taken me on. Social dilemma. Hello. Is there anybody out there who knows that reference? Tell me in the comments below. If I'm annoying you and you don't like that I keep pinging people, I'm sorry. I'm being social. I'm a human being. If you don't like it, interesting? Another little tangent. Since I started doing these lives, I had this pause. Love this. Great quote. That is absolutely right. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. I care. Can you tell? Can you tell? Or are you just laughing out loud? Yes, Akash, we have a comment. Thank you. Thank you, Akash. What brought you here today? Did you hear earlier what I was saying? Will somebody do me the favor and do what it was I asked a moment ago? By the way, do you know there's extensions that you can get for a browser? I use a Chrome extension. Let me know in the comments below. I'm going to keep saying that until you guys get sick of it. Put that in the comments. Say, I know, Jared, in quotes. Let me know in the comments below. Yeah, well, if you're not saying it, I'm not going to know it because I don't have people joining me right now. I haven't gotten that far. I turned the damn camera on today. Thank you. Who's going to give me a high five? I got the camera to work today. I'm on here. What the hell? Okay, sorry. Did it again. I'm here, guys. I'm showing up. Are you? Okay, that's the question. I have, and I'm glad you noticed. I think, even if you put in there, like I've got over here, day 7, I think you guys can see my little mouse pointing. This is day 7. I'm not joking, okay? This is the 7th day straight of what Jacqueline Way started actually years ago. If you guys haven't seen, I've got a reference to her in this post. Open up the post. Yep. Click see more on this live. Look at the text, guys. Read what's in there. There's some good stuff. I jam-packed not just these 3 pointers, but a whole bunch of other stuff. I try to add in there whatever I can, okay? Because I do care. Thank you. I appreciate that, Richard. Yes. I love your engagement, Richard. You've been on these things. I think you've been on here for several of them too. And this is awesome that I caught you live like this. Other times, I think I've seen you in the comments afterwards. Guys, I'm telling you, I will go back and I will check these comments afterwards for the next few days. The best way to make sure somebody sees a comment, and LinkedIn Lives actually are terrible about this. Early on, I was showing people all the time. If you'd like to know how to go back and see all the comments, guaranteed, not miss one of them, especially on a LinkedIn Live, let me know. Okay, you know how to do that. I won't say it. I'll spare you. But there are ways to do it. And I really don't think that it's one of those classic things with LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn turns on this new feature, but you're welcome, Akash. They don't tell you. They don't tell you how to do this stuff. They don't tell you how to leverage. They're not really telling you how to become more, to give more, right? That's not a LinkedIn thing. I'm kind of making that up, I guess, right? But, add a comment. Add a comment of not just New Year's resolutions. Add a comment to get a discussion going. LinkedIn groups were great back in 2016, 2015. I was having a heyday with my day job. Comments, you'd put something out there that was like a really intriguing, well thought out articles were doing well, and just a post, and you'd get hundreds of likes, like instantly in a group. You know what they are now? They're ghost towns. Groups are ghost towns. Has a catchy ring to it. It's coming back. Groups are coming back. If you haven't noticed, and I think it's kind of a thing that's rolling out group by group, because I don't think we're quite there yet. But there is a way to make sure that you are ready when your groups that you're in that are active, then people realize it and they actually start getting active. You can turn notifications back on in groups. Did you know that? And it works. It is working. Put it that way. Slowly but surely. I have groups, guys. I think I've got several groups. I do. I know I do. What am I saying? I think. I have several groups. Some I pay more attention to than others. You know what one of them is? Hashtag ONO. Heard of it? Let me know. We could go on, and it's probably going to be, in fact, I know it will be one of these days. I will talk about hashtag ONO. And if you're going to be one of those that doesn't believe in it, thinks it's crap, thinks it's a waste, thinks it's this, you can tune out. See ya. Nice talking to you. You're free to your opinion. But I'm going to show you. I've already done it a little bit, I think, on day 2. Tell me if you guys remember, but I think it was day 2. I already talked about how you can get found out of millions. You can't quite do that with what LinkedIn started this year, by the way. They followed me in 2017. Me and 2 other ladies, we started at hashtag ONO. LinkedIn is finally catching on with the onset of COVID, right? Hashtag OpenToWork. And you got that banner. I should do it's probably like this for you guys. Yeah. I think the way you're seeing this, the banner, the green label banner on your photo. Best intentions. They say it's working. There are stats out there from LinkedIn saying that it works. Hashtag ONO works better. Ask me more. DM me. I can take messages for free. But when you message me, do me a favor. Look for ways to add value. Always on LinkedIn, right? Don't just message people and ask for something. How can you help them? Back to point number 3 here, right? How can you become to give? What can you be doing to add value to others, especially on LinkedIn, right? In your neighborhood, in your family, around the world. I don't care where. But that's kind of the whole idea. Back to Jacqueline Way. Her 365 give, hashtag 365 GIVE. Put it in right now. Jacqueline, I know you're going to see this eventually. I love you, babe. Put it in, guys. Check it out, because she also has the same hashtag. And I knew she was going to be doing this, and I saw it, and I thought, what can I do as my version of hashtag 12 days of giving, right? Put them both in, do a search, check out all the content that is out there. Guys, thank yourself later for doing it, okay? It's huge. What can you do to give? Seriously, guys, okay? Richard, I'm not surprised that you heard of hashtag ONO. I'm glad you have. And I'm not joking. I've got so many stories, both good and bad. People that do it wrong, majority. Unfortunately, I'm going to be frank with you guys, and I'm going to be honest. Most people do hashtag ONO wrong. So then I get the wise asses, and I'm not going to apologize for saying that. You get the wise asses in here and say, don't put ONO in your profile. Okay, don't get a new job then either. That's my frank response, okay? Please, let's have a debate. Challenge me, talk to me, do it in the comments, okay? Show yourself. But yeah, it works if you know how. I have a free course. I'll walk you through it in the course, okay? And I'm looking for feedback, but if no one gives me feedback, I'm not going to spend the time on the course and make it better. See how that works? I'm not going to do it. So I've put this course out there on my website. Literally, you can get access to it right now. You can go sign up for free. Hopefully I got the bugs and the kinks worked out, but even the sign up was a little bit weird. I'm going to throw it into, I guess I can't do a comment. I'm going to throw it into the banner. I'm going to put it in Ono course. Actually, I have a way of doing this. Let's see if this worked. Here's the Ono course. Did that work just now? Darn it. Hang on a second. Bear with me. I'm going to do, yeah, that. I think I want you guys to test it out. Do me a favor. I'm putting this in the comment, or the banner, I should say, right? I'm going to save that. Can you guys try going to that? And actually, I'm going to make it, it's even simpler. Bear with me a second. All you have to do is ProfilesThatPOP.com. And when you do that, ProfilesThatPOP.com/ONO. Can't be easier than that. I have a redirect that should take you to the course. Will somebody please try that? Make sure that it works. And guess what? The first lesson is completely free. Don't need to sign up or anything. It kind of gives you a background. I think I have in there the original article that we started that launched ONO, #ONO, back in 2017. 100% free. Take a look. Gives you the link to that. I've been tired of telling this to people for years, literally 2017. I've been telling people about this for years, why we started it, what we were trying to do, why it works or doesn't work, how it's better than other things that you can be doing. I'm not going to go through it all again right now. I'm not. Save it for another topic. But check that out. Please let me know. Does that work? Boa tarde. Does that mean hello? Tell me where you're from, Nilton. Thanks for joining us and tell me what brought you by. I appreciate you adding that comment. Richard, what have you said? Wealth of LinkedIn knowledge that selflessly give. Thank you. Namaste to you as well. I love saying namaste. A shout out to Jeff Young, my brother in Namaste Arms. Yeah, the last year, the 100 profile reviews you did to help people. Actually, I remember the 260 that I did last year. Thank you. Yes, guys, I did over 260 free profile reviews last year. I even did my best to put them in a grid on Rodrigo, I'm forgetting your last name. On his site, FYI.to. I try to put them in a grid, and there's so many of them that the grid has trouble loading. Okay, but I did over 260 free, publicly posted on YouTube and or LinkedIn profile reviews, guys. And it's another one of my courses. I give you the first 5 essentially that I've done. It's another one of the courses. Tell me if you can get to my courses. And again, it's real simple. I'm going to go back to the banners. All my courses, I'm going to edit this. I'm going to change it to, let's make this real simple. Save that one. Let's add a new one. It is my courses. And they're free. I'm adding a bonus. Nobody has put in my challenge. Guys, social dilemma. 2 words in the comments now. Typing something. Do it. Do it. Geez, I got to find out. Oh, that's not. I have these shortcuts that I use with typing. Sometimes people, little tip, sometimes people ask me, oh my God, how can you respond to all these comments so fast and all that? I don't have a bot. I don't have a virtual assistant, guys. I got a family of 4. I got a full-time job. I have paying clients I have to work on later today. What I do have is little tools, little things that help me along the way. And one of them is something I use. It's called Auto Hotkey, I believe is what it's called. But at any rate, I think I just found it. No, darn it, I didn't. I'm trying to find it. But basically, you go to, and I'm typing this up right now. Sorry for the delay, but I will make this work. Okay. You know what? It's impossible to multitask. And I've learned that more and more as I've gotten older. There. I can't get it more simple than that. ProfilesThatPOP.com/courses. Free. They're all free. But you got to sign up to get access to them. I give you usually the first lesson in multiple lessons. Sometimes I've got a video in there. Literally the profile pop-ups that I did. It's, and I have here's the thing. You want a profile pop-up? Here's how. Comment with, I want a profile pop-up because give me your pitch. And I realize this is too much for some people. So I need to make that little comment there. But you got to tell me why. If you want a profile pop-up, if you want me to review your LinkedIn profile, tell me why. Tell me your value pitch. Tell me what you're after. Give me something to go by, but I'll do it. I could do it in a minute. I did that one time. I was part of BNI for a year, and the president of BNI, he'd been hearing my little speeches. Once a week, you have to give a little pitch. So I'd give my little pitch about why I do LinkedIn and resume work, basically, right? And had gotten to the point several months in that he kept hearing my pitch, and he goes, you know what, Jared? Funny story, and I hope he doesn't mind sharing this. I won't say his name, but he said, you know what, Jared, why don't you give me a quick review, will you? And it was like we had 1 minute left in the entire meeting. We met for an hour every week. And if you're out there, you know who you are, let me know. Or if one of you has heard this before, or you're part of my old BNI team, let me know in the comments if you remember this moment. But he said to me, Jared, well, what do you think? What do you think of my profile? I'm curious. Have you seen it? I go, yeah, I've seen it. And I'm not kind of like holding back a little, right? I'm being nice and respectful and all. And I said, he said, have you seen my profile? What would you say? I'm curious. What do you say? Go ahead, give me a shot. And within a minute, guys, his jaw was on the table, because I went through and basically I roasted his profile. That's the easiest, quickest way I can think of it. I roasted his profile, going through all the things that were wrong with it. And there were so many that within a minute, and I didn't even hesitate, I'm just like, boom, 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 boom. Right after that meeting, he hired me. Okay, long story short. But that's just it. Sometimes you need to have your value. It needs to jump out. Okay, value. I had this as a banner on here before, and I think I got rid of it. Guys, go, whether you're talking hashtag O&O, whether you're talking anything on LinkedIn, value, value, value. What are the top 3 things you need to be doing on focusing on LinkedIn? Value, value, value. Add value, give value to receive. Okay, it comes down to that. We have a winner, 2 winners. Look at that. I don't know what it took, but look at that. Thank you. Yes, Richard, 260 documented public ones, and I think I'm ready to go on 262 because I did another one too. But POW, profiles that pop. Okay. Hey, that's great to hear, Christopher. Doing resume reviews can be very rewarding. Definitely requires some thick skin, though. Yeah. Talk about going live, right? And putting it out there like I'm doing right now and saying things that, hey, people might not agree with. I'd love to hear it in the comments below. But you and here's the thing with resumes, more so I think than with LinkedIn. It's my opinion, and I'm getting back into the LinkedIn and the resume help for people, right? But I think resumes, you get a lot of people, different views, a lot of advice, a lot of expert opinions. It should only be 1 page, only 2 pages. Well, only this. Really? I'll give you my classic answer to resumes. It depends. It's my classic answer. Ask me anything about a resume. Well, it depends. What? How can you tell me it depends? I'll tell you what research suggests. I'll tell you what my ATS tool will tell you. And that's what I do. I pay for an ATS scanning service because I don't want people second guessing. I don't want myself second guessing. I don't want to spend hours on a resume that someone might never see. Here's the rub. I'd rather focus on putting my eggs in the LinkedIn basket. Why? I can do this. All right. You can be talking to people. You have a conversation. You show your what? Value, value, value. Are you cramming that value into 1, 2, or even 3 or more pages? Really? Really? That's what is, to me, is bigger than thick skin. It's rewarding when you get one that does well, right? I've had clients that have gotten to Amazon. They've gotten to interviews with Microsoft. I think even Google too. But it's a neat feeling to know that your client, got in for an interview. But really, at the end of the day, quick tangent, but quick goal and view on resumes. It is rewarding. However, what I would say, yes, and resumes seal the deal. They don't make them. Curious what you think of that. And the goal of the resume is to get you to the interview. I can do whatever I can and so much to make that resume look professional, right? You may have seen even on my website, or on my it's on my website too, but even on my banner on LinkedIn, you've seen on my upper banner in the upper left. And I apologize if I'm trying to point to my upper left. Is this my upper left right now? I got to realize if you guys are mirrored or not. I don't know on this. I haven't done it enough times to know, but I think it's backwards because that's what it looks like, what I'm seeing on my screen. So upper left on my profile, the banner picture, I've got an eye scan study that the Ladders did, and I've talked about that before. So forget now, I apologize. Where was I? Tell me. Seriously, I forget. But anyway, the goal of the resume. The goal of the resume is to get you the interview. Okay, at the end of the day, do you agree? Because I could do everything to make that piece of paper look good. What I love to do even more so, and I'm really good at it, is LinkedIn, getting you to shine, proving to you searches are getting higher, proving to you if a recruiter is coming, or the right audience is coming? Are you getting found for the right keywords you want? Then also proving your views, your profile views are going up. Can a resume do that? I don't care if you've got the best resume in the world, you send it off to the best company in the world, right? Best looking job you've ever seen in the world, ever. Do you know if it got to them? Did you pass an ATS scan instantly? And for all you people out there that say, well, don't go through an ATS. Yeah, I would agree. Your chances of getting a job, by the way, and I guess here, I told you I wasn't going to get into LinkedIn and resumes. I'm sorry. Have I offended anybody? I'm sorry. You mind if I go into LinkedIn and resumes a little bit? Tell me if you do. Tell me if you do or don't. What's your view on me having this banner showing, telling you about Miracle Mornings, and here I am talking shop? Sorry. Did I offend you? I don't like sharing a resume template. There have been other people that have done that. The late Kirsty Bonner was amazing at that. Every once in a while, she would share her template. But again, why? Because it depends. All right. And there are general things you can do, but I tell you what, even better, you send me your resume and I will give you the top 3 tips from my LinkedIn scanner or my resume scanner. It does LinkedIn and resumes, but from my resume scanner. Shake, I appreciate the comment. You can send it to info@ProfilesThatPOP. There you see it scrolling at the bottom. Send it to that email address. I'll be glad to scan. Thank you, Christopher. I appreciate that. But send me your resume. And you could even ask for a LinkedIn review, but I don't agree with what this software scanning service completely. I don't agree with what it says. Frankly, it gives you too high of a rating for what it does for the LinkedIn scan. I know better. I've tested and proven too much and know too much more about it than whatever they've programmed, even the ATS scanner for LinkedIn. So there's a lot more. I go through 26 steps with clients on LinkedIn. I don't know. I haven't counted it on how many steps, so to speak, that I go through with a resume, but it still takes me hours to go through and get a resume. Okay. So it's, I don't like sharing a template because then you go and follow a cookie cutter template and there's so much that has to go into it. Okay. You need to tailor your resume to each job to which you apply. How do I tell you that in a template? Right. Again, it depends. If you just go spraying off your resume, you follow a template, it's not going to get you anything. So it's another reason I don't like to even talk about a template. I do have a format that I know is going to be ATS compliant. But let me ask you guys, do you know the difference between ATS compliant and ATS passing? You got to pass the ATS and survive an eye scan by the hiring manager or recruiter that may get you only a 5-minute glance, or 5-minute, geez, don't you wish? No, 5-second glance. You know what they're looking for? It's called an F pattern. F you. That's right. You like that? Seriously, they're looking to scan your title, your name, the top information, that top line. So here's your template, live. They're scanning the top one. They start going down the bottom and they're looking for the information they need to know. You want to know what that is? The Ladders study, 2012, reconfirmed in 2018. They are looking for 6 things, recruiters. Back then, it was 6 seconds. With COVID, it's more like 5 seconds or less. 6 things, 6 seconds. Let's just call that because it sounds good. They're looking for your name, your education, your current job and company, and your most recent job and company. Sorry, my fingers couldn't keep up. 6. That's it, guys. That's what they're looking for. What you do with a template or your format is you make sure you give it in a format that they are looking to see. If they like the iScan study that's in the banner on my LinkedIn profile, go take a look at my profile. You'll see that iScan study and actually take a look at, I think it was day 2 or 3. I forget. Somebody remember? But I think I showed, or I was talking about the scan. And if not, would you like to see that as one of these 12 days of giving? I could go into that study a little bit more. Guys, where are the comments? Everybody just go. What is it? Is it time for church? Maybe, I guess, huh? 11:42. I'm carrying on too much. Am I going on too long? You want me to just to get on these things and say 2 or 3 pithy things and move on? Maybe I should. I don't know. You tell me. Curious. But anyway, 6 things, 6 seconds. That's all you got. That's all you got. And I don't like those odds. I hate those odds. I want to study it. I want proof. I want LinkedIn metrics that tell me it's working, baby. It's working. That's what I want to hear. So I much prefer LinkedIn. Put your eggs in the LinkedIn basket. Okay. And as you see in the scanner down below, tell me, info@ProfilesThatPOP.com. I'm glad to do a free scan of your resume. And it takes me moments, guys, because I pay for a service. but it takes me moments, and I will tell you what it tells you, the top 3 things you need to focus on and what your score is overall. I'll do that for you for free, anybody. But it's a lot. That's easy. The hard part is understanding what it just said, making your resume better, and really improving it so that, I kid you not, it's part of my brand. And I really had to think this through. It took me months to come up with a name for my website and for my brand, to get a resume that pops. That's why I picked a website, Profiles That Pop. Whether we're talking LinkedIn, whether we're talking resumes, heck, personal development, coaching, I guess it could all be there. But Profiles That Pop. What's your profile? What is in your profile? We're talking at a personal level, back to the topic at hand, guys. Are you starting off your days with intention, with a plan, knowing what you want for the year, for 10 years, whatever? Are you bringing that back down to a regular, frequent basis, looking at it? Now we're getting into Agile, which I mentioned earlier. Agile, the pillars of this, a lot of people call it the Scrum pillars, right? Transparency, you got to look at things once a year at least. Introspection, I think it is. Introspection means you got to go dig deep, right? You got to be honest with yourself. And then adaptation or adaption, whatever you want to call it. Those are essentially what I like to call them the empirical pillars of being agile, right? We've got to be agile on a regular basis. Yeah. Hey, Scott, great point. Some people think 7 days is as little as it can take. I talked about it earlier. You may have missed it. Rewind this and listened earlier, but I gave a little funny analogy of Tony Robbins. It could take you 7 seconds if you got Tony Robbins there. Okay. Rewind and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's not 7 and it's not 7 days. And you know what I loved about this, and I was wanting to get this in. So thank you. You just reminded me, Scott. I appreciate the comment. I appreciate you showing up. Appreciate you being here. But 7, what I wanted to say, and I wanted to make sure I got this in here. Do you feel lucky, punk? You know, I got the, what's that from? Clint Eastwood, Dirty Harry, right? Do you feel lucky, punk? 7, the lucky number 7, day 7. That's what got my thoughts going this morning when I was thinking about what can I do? It's like, what can I do about luck? You know what? There is no luck. Make your luck. Make my day, punk. Okay? Because it takes more. Trust me, it takes more than 7 anythings for it to really stick. And really, frankly, to me, that comes back to the response to your comment. Makes me think with 7, you're just being lucky. You know, you're lucky. If you did something 7 times in a row, you were lucky. If I make it past today now, day 7, now into day 8 through day 12, with Christmas right around the corner, with my family, like today earlier, getting upset, Jared, where are you? I'm coming. I swear to God, I am. I got to leave, guys. Sorry, I'm about to leave. Warning, countdown. We're at 52 minutes. I thought about doing a podcast. Last thing I'll say is it. If you want to know more, different ideas, different topics, you know where to put them. But I thought about being a life coach. So I'm going to leave you guys with this. And I realized that I have a hard enough time with myself. Be honest with you guys. I have a hard enough time making changes myself. Who am I? Who am I to tell you what you need to do with your life? I realized, number one, big dilemma right there, right? Bigger than the social dilemma. Anybody else want to put social dilemma in the comments? You know what I'm talking about when I say that? If not, rewind. But I don't want that responsibility, nor do I feel that I would be successful enough doing it, frankly, and challenge me on this. You know, there's probably a lot of great life coaches. I follow people like Brendon Burchard. The guy's amazing, just amazing. And he backs his stuff up with science. And that to me is the epitome, right? When I hit 50, I wanted to do something special. And I for the longest time, I told you this was the last thing, but I'm on the topic here, so bear with me. You don't like this? Let me know. Did I go on too much? Let me know. I got a story about that, by the way, in terms of interviews. Let me know if you want to hear more about it. I'm not going to know this stuff unless you tell me, guys. Direct message me. Better put it in the comments. Then again, comments are kind of a pain to get to, right? I've talked about that before. But back to where I was going. I've been doing self-improvement, self-personal development, whatever you want to call it, self-improvement. Why? Asking why, right? Bigger question type stuff. I've been doing it for decades, guys, at least 3. Serious. Started with my dad. My dad was into astrology, numerology, all that kind of stuff. So growing up from a kid, I was always thinking about this kind of stuff. Now you know a little bit more about me, right? You know I care. I do care. Richard said it. I agree. I do care. You can see it, right? You saw that smile? Did you see the smile? But I used to, for the longest time, I mentioned 7 Habits, Stephen Covey, early on, right? That was a game changer. It was an aha moment for me. And that was in the professional world. And then I realized in the personal world, I was able to see how it helped there as well. But what for the longest time, then I saw Tony Robbins stuff, and I think in that order. I'm not sure which came first, right? But for the longest time, I've kind of described my self-improvement or personal development. I keep, what, for lack of a better way of saying it. But I always viewed my philosophy on personal development as someone who is the Stephen Covey principles, right? The guy's like, this is the way it is. You got 7 habits. So do those 7 habits, right? Back to the number 7, Scott, right? And habits, so you're reminding me of this. You do these principles because it's a principle. You don't go out and be a farmer for a day or even 7 days and call yourself a farmer. You're not going to have a harvest, right? Old school stuff, but it's so true. But the problem is I bought the tapes. It was tapes back then, guys. Okay. Proof that I've been into this for a while. I bought tapes one time from Stephen Covey, him talking about his habits. Maybe it was for families even at that point. It was big. And I would put the tapes in the car, in the player, when cars had tape players. Remember this? And I would literally almost fall asleep. And I'm like, whoa, I can't listen to this in the car. I'm not joking. I can't listen to this in the car anymore because it was like putting me to sleep. So it's like, then I realized I had this aha moment. Put the principles, the Covey principles, with Anthony Robbins, Tony Robbins. Live with passion was like his big thing for years, he would say, right? So you put principles and passion together, and boom, that was me, right? Then you know what I did? I added into the mix again, Maya Angelou. People will forget what you say. They will forget what you do. Ready for it? But they'll never forget how you made them feel. Let me know, guys. Have I made you feel better? Have I given you something to feel better about? Because see, guys, when that hit, that was another aha moment. I'm like the Maya Angelou in that regard. When I read those words, I was like, whoa, that quote just blew me away. Have you heard that quote? People will forget what you do. They will forget what you said. And I hope I'm getting this right, but they will never forget how you make or made them feel. So guys, I hope I'm adding value. I'm into 57 minutes here by the time I'm done with this statement. If I've added value for you today, please tell me. Okay? It would make my day. It would, because I want to know that I've helped you. And with that, I hit the 57-minute mark. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you're having wonderful holidays. Stay away from the New Year's resolutions. If you don't know what the hell I'm saying, sorry, not sorry. Rewind. Why resolutions don't work. Do it today. Thanks, guys. Have a great one. It's true. I love that. I love talking to you guys. I hope this helped. Give me more topics that you'd like to hear about, but I'm trying to add value. I'm trying to mix it up, and I'm trying to, give back, right? Maslow. Thanks, guys. Have a great one. Take care.